Ava, the whole reason that President Trump installed all of the tariffs and even the reciprocity was because the fundamental national emergency about fentanyl coming into the country. When the 3-judge panel looked at it in their 100-page ruling, or they just kind of took out the emergency on fentanyl and tossed it out like it was nothing. They start talking about trade policy. President Trump called a national emergency about fentanyl. Your thoughts on that, ma'am?
And I will get to the fentanyl, but I want to add something about this trade talks. Because we talked to LA, we talked to trade talks, but the American needs to focusing on the narrative. Okay, this is where the CCP will bring the victory, not because everything they say is true, and actually quite opposite. A lot of the propaganda derived from the truth. There's ounce of truth in it, but they exaggerate it to the point that you could call it fake news. For example, Forrest just mentioned, people right now inside communist China and outside communist China spreading on social media about Americans falling. American is collapsing. The situation is out of control, but we know the situation is under control. Marine was there. I see Ian was there. So why? Why the CCP fanning this all over the world? Not only to domestic audience, but to international audience. And they carefully curated in conjunction with the trade talk. What happened on Trade Talk? May 9th, where did they go? They went to London. Why did they pick London? Why did they not go to Geneva? They're sending a strong message, which at this moment as we speak, they are spreading on the world social media, which is, okay, London, you're the very first transatlantic ally of the United States, and you decide to sign an agreement with the United States. Shame on you. Look at me. I dare to challenge the United States. I did not sign, and I'm going to show my muscle and project my power in front of the world. Do you need rare earths? Does Britain, you need rare earths? Does European, you need rare earths? Does everywhere, any countries around the world that's in the high-tech business, do you need rare earths? Look at me. I will be able to corner the hegemon of the world for over a century, that's United States, to come to London and force the hand on them. And rare earths is only one of my many cards. I have your treasury bond. I have your trillions of investment in Hong Kong. I have every other critical material you rely on, genetic drugs, from genetic drugs to other stuff that they produce that United States rely on today. So they are sending the message. On May 9th and 10th, guess what happened on May 9th? When they arrived, when He Jianfeng, the Chinese representative, arrived in London, what did he announce in the London Tech Week? They're going to increase investment, 140 million pounds in their TikTok headquarters. What's that? Okay, you have to pay attention to the narrative. So, and think about the effect those effects going to have on the world elite. Not just America, around the world, because right now every country is negotiating with the United States on the so-called Liberation Day of the trade policy. And Chinese government are playing the dirty hands behind the scene. So that is why you have to pay attention to the narratives they're pumping out. One time, on the one side, they say American is fallen. On the other side, they say, I'm stronger. See, even United States needs me, okay? They're willing to come because London is a location that CCP picked deliberate to send a message around the world. And now they're showing their muscles and see, I'm the boss. I'm single-handedly upend the American strategic capitalization strategy that has kept the world running for over a century. Now this whole seismic shift happening. What happened to the CCP? They will be emboldened. That's why Taiwan today become even more dangerous because CCP is now that ever determined to take the chip industry. They already have South Korea. They're going to move on Taiwan because they know the more leverage they have, the safer they are. Because American today, never before, bent its will. And today, they made a huge announcement. This is what the CCP is going to fan out to the entire world. Think about the psychological manipulation. Think about the narratives that go into everybody's heads. And when they come on table and talk to the United States, what would they do? How will this inspire the rest of the world? What about Czech Republic, who has a laser technology? What about the Dutch, Netherlands, who has the EUV machines? What about the rest of the world? Brazil, French, Germany, or Europe Union, they're all going to come to the table to negotiate with the United States, and all of them need rare earths. So this is a message that CCP is sending, and America needs to pay attention. But I want to say the last thing, because I really wanted to, I hope this is not happening, and I want the United States on high alert, because this is the ultimate plan of the fentanyl that's coming, and this is strictly coming from the intel from the NFSC. Don't ever underestimate the level of evilness of the CCP. They had the fentanyl thought out. It's a multi-phased and long-term planning strategic move against the United States. The ultimate goal of the CCP is to bring the destruction of the United States. How do they do that?
United States of America.